Welcome to the Money Wounds and Inner Wealth: How to Uproot the Lies about money trauma. And we've been talking about this all week long. And my name is Edna White, and I'm so glad that you are here. So we're going to get into it today about getting to the root of why money feels unsafe, and why no matter how much you earn, it never quite feels like enough. If you ever were raised in religion, control, or chaos, if you ever felt guilty around success, or if you ever felt something in the pit of your stomach and the way your life was never seemed to line up, and if someone's ever talked to you about money and you didn't feel uncomfortable about it, like asking the question, how much do you make? And then your body gets tense, you're in the right place. By the end of this live, you'll identify your money wounds, trace inherited beliefs, and understand how trauma affects your ability to receive, and begin to rebuild inner wealth based on your safety, your worth, and your values. So drop a money sign or a money bag in the chat if you're ready to be honest about your money story. I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second. Okay. Your second's up. So, okay. So here it goes. Here it goes. With my personal story around money. When I was 12 years old, I worked in the neighborhood, and I was basically doing small little tasks for elder people in the community. And every dollar they gave me, I washed. Every quarter, change they gave me, I washed and I put it away. I actually ironed the dollars. It felt dirty. Um, I was afraid to lose it or even use it. So about a year later, I counted it, and it was about over about $1,200. And I couldn't believe, out of all the things, I always used to ask my mom for everything, right? But I never spent this money. I didn't feel rich. I felt like I had to hide it. I couldn't spend it. That if I did, something bad would happen. That's money trauma right there in a child's hands. And it lives in your body day to day. And as you grow up, this is the same way you handle money. Perfect example: as an adult, you will handle money. Now, you will have different excuses why, but you will handle money the same way. Let's talk about where money trauma often begins. So, number one is top of the list: religious conditioning. You've heard the words, money is the root of all evil. But what you didn't hear after the evil part was the comma. Okay, what was after that? You're always told a part of something with no reason why we should do it, right? We've heard the statement, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. So all of that is like literally symbolic, because in Egypt, there's this area that everyone goes through to get to where they have to go. So it's more like a bridge, and that is called the needle translation. And camels would just fit above that because it was kind of shaped like a hump of a camel. So it would just fit through, right? But a rich man to go to heaven, and heaven doesn't really mean what we think it does. And I'm just getting off topic right now. Heaven really means your mentality or your consciousness around a certain subject or a certain thing, right? It just means your consciousness, right? So a rich man to have that consciousness that they can get to the next level. And then there's the third one: the more you give, the more holy you are. Blessed are the poor in spirit. So those things stay with you, and they lay with you, and they start to embed themselves inside of you and your nervous system, around your thoughts and your ideas and they start to take place, big place in your life. So you start telling yourself when you get a job or when you get a business or when you do anything that requires you to do something, a service, you start telling yourself, my calling, this is my calling, and I don't need any money. I just want to see the joy on people's faces as I help someone. You tell yourself that. Now, that's the spirit saying all of that. But the body is human and it's on earth. And so, therefore, money has to do a lot with everything. So, how can that be? The real reason is that that's just an excuse for you to think higher of yourself than you really are. That's just to think that you're going to get a reward. And from that little scripture of, it's better to give and that you become holy, you're living that out in what you do. So these little things that are taught to you or told to you have embedded themselves in in your lives. All they do is keep replaying, and all you do is keep making excuses and why that works and living it out, right? So you're always going to have this playing in your mind, no matter what it is. It sounds noble until it becomes self erasure, meaning you start to erase who you really are. So it sounds good, until you get to a place like, who am I really? Why am I doing this? Because you're not aligned, period. Because the lies we tell ourselves or the lies that we believe, we continue to believe and not go in and do the inner work to clean it out and get rid of things that no longer serve us. We just keep using them. We just dress them up differently. So if you like, it's like having a spatula or a pan that you know you have to throw in the garbage, and you keep using it, and it's getting worse, make you feel bad because the inside of it's peeling and it breaking off, and you're still using it. Same thing. Okay, so that's that. Number two is chaotic or controlling homes. Money was weaponized. As long as you live in my house, weaponized. You know, you do what I say, and that changes it. Or absence, we don't have it, don't ask. Right? We don't have it. First of all, that's not something a child should know. You're supposed to handle your business. So sharing that a little bit of information is not good for them. And all it does is parentify them before they know what a parent is. So you're giving them your job and you're giving them your anxiety. But all it is if you don't have it, you just don't have it. Right? You don't have to have a discussion with your child who's 5 or 6 or 7 or. It teaches your nervous system to be quiet. You lose your voice. And money is equated with fear and punishment. Yeah, I know that's a lot of silence there. I hear you. I hear you. The third one is the culture and family beliefs. You were told you have to work for somebody else. Don't be an artist because you're not going to make any money. Don't play the piano because you're not going to make any money. Don't become an entrepreneur. There's no money in that. You have to work in this field. Don't play your guitar because you're not going to make any money. Don't make any music because you're not going to make any money in that. You're going to do this. You'll save for your pension. You'll have this. And you have 401k. You have all these things. You'll have work forever because nobody's going to die and everybody's going to die and get sick. And if you're in the medical field, you'll always have a job. Ever heard that? You could raise your hand if you say that. Hit the hearts on that if you ever heard that. Or we're not that kind of people who own things. We're not that kind of people. And here's a very good one. Life's always going to be a struggle. No matter where you go, it's always going to be a struggle. And you live that out throughout your life. Let's face it, you need money for most things as a human. Food, shelter, rest, peace, healing, they cost something. We are not here to worship money, but we are also not here to suffer needlessly. We're just not. A few weeks ago, I was talking to one of my friends earlier today. A few weeks ago, I was challenged with what did I really want to do with my life, and I had a tray full of things I felt I had to do. And then I had my resume under that tray, like the doily. My resume was the doily, and everything that I had to do had to culminate into the resume. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And I took it off my plate. I don't want to do that. And I took it off my plate. And I don't want to do this. And I took it off my plate because I had gotten to the point, who am I doing something for? And it goes right back to money. Why am I doing this? Do I believe that I'm worth anything? So, what these things do is pull back and help you understand your worth, help you understand it. Am I really worth this? Do I need to keep doing this in order to show my worth? And yet, it doesn't show a return on my value, on the what I've my value is, my interest in it. Am I really doing the right thing? Well, this is all about being aligned with money. It's all about being aligned with your worth, right? If you believe you are worth something, you believe everything that you do is worth something, instead of creating something to make it worth you. Does that make sense? Of course it does. We often do things on the outside of ourselves to show our worth. We buy clothes, we buy jewelry, we buy things, we buy people, we buy stuff, we buy food. We buy all these things to make it seem like this is lined up with this, when it should be the other way around, that this is lined up and then all of this comes freely and effortlessly. So let's identify your money wounds and what it is that your profile, what you kind of set your place in. And I want you guys to like really think about this, okay? This is your identity around money. It's 4 profiles. And if it sounds like you, um, I want you to drop in the chat a G, H, A, or M. Now, I'm going to give them to you first. So number 1 is the giver. They overgive, undercharges, and can't receive without guilt. That was me. So you put a G if that's you. That was me. Put a G if that is true. Number 2, the hoarder saves obsessively, still feels unsafe. And hoarding is a form of fear, that you fear that you won't have that any longer, and then pretty soon you crowd out what you're not going to have any longer, and you don't know where it is. So you don't feel safe without it. You got to have everything close to you. So the hoarder, they save obsessively, but they spend a lot, and it's thinking about the future instead of staying in the moment. And then that's how things are hoarded. You kind of get things. Okay, I'll get this for I'm going to a party a year from now. I'm going to my cruise a year from now. Let me buy this. And a year from now it might not happen, or you might change your mind, or it'll be put in the closet and you forgot about it. Okay, so if you're that person, put an H. Number three, the avoider ignores money, avoids tracking, freezes around finances. Put an A. That's an A. That's what I realized most recently. Okay? The avoider ignores money, avoids tracking it, like not looking in your bank account, freezes around finances. As soon as the bill comes in, you get scared and you have the money and you pay it whenever you feel like it, or you procrastinate around it. Put an A. Drop an A in the comments. The last one is the martyr. Think struggling is virtue. Always sacrifices yourself. Put yourself out there. Someone will say to you, "Oh, I want you to do this. Can you do this?" And you're scraping together pennies and you do it and you go and you get disappointed. The martyr. You thinks that struggle is a virtue. It is not. God never told you to do that. Jesus never came here to teach us anything like that. He came to teach us to get out of karma. How all the things that are coming to us, we need to get in alignment so they don't come to us. Okay? So, like I said, the giver, drop a G. The hoarder, drop an H. The avoider, drop an A. And the martyr, drop an M. And I'm going to do it just because I can. I'm going to put an A for me because I just figured that out. So, all right, that's going to be, and I just figured that out about myself. All right. So let's talk about the money and your nervous system. Money trauma isn't logical. See, it's not something that you think of, and it's not physical. If your body doesn't feel safe receiving, you'll push it away. A great example of this, someone says, "Oh, you're beautiful today." "Oh, yeah, you know what I did? I washed my hair." Instead of saying thank you. Or someone gives you something, right? Says, "Oh, this is for you." "Oh, no." Instead of saying thank you. It's sabotage. It cancels the joy. Because that person could be, you're canceling not only your joy, but the person who may be giving it to you may have joy. And then maybe you're thinking, "Oh, they have an ulterior motive." Not for you to think. Receiving has nothing to do with you thinking. You see, because you're trying to make yourself safe by saying no to that. And you're always thinking, "I got to get them before they get me." Fight or flight. Fight, fight, fight. Right? That's the fear around anything, especially around money. "No, I'm going to get them." "No, no, I don't want that." "No, no." You not only disappoint yourself or cancel the joy in yourself, you cancel for the person who wants to give it to you. So let's pause right now. I want to do a little small exercise. Hands on your belly, either left or right, doesn't really matter. Take a deep breath. Now imagine money coming in gently, consistently. You can close your eyes. Just see it flowing in, flowing in. All these dollars, make sure it's dollars, whatever it is. Just see it flowing in. Yeah, you see it, right? Just see it. And there's no fear around accepting it. Think of yourself as a magnet as you're doing this. Breathe in and out. And you're seeing the money flow in, and you're a magnet. It's just sticking to you, sticking to you, sticking to you. Now, wherever it is that you don't feel it sticking to you, you start to think, what's going on there? Why am I repelling it? So right now, what I'm feeling is, as the money's sticking to all of here, I feel it's not sticking on my elbow. So I got to start breathing in and making my arm a receiver, a receiver. There we go. And the money starts to stick. So that's a great exercise for you to imagine. See, many of us who have experienced trauma in our young lives, 5, 6, before birth, being abandoned, being taken from your parents at a very young age, or being adopted, sometimes your imagination is gone, right? But imagination is what brings things and what creates your life. It creates this feeling that you know how it feels, and it also creates a way that you can overturn your nervous system. Now when you're feeling that, you felt abundance in your belly, not clenching or not scarcity, but warmth. As you touched your hands are healing. They're always healing. And so you always want to feel that warmth in your belly. Now, question to you: as you were doing this, did your body feel relaxed or tense? Was it resistant? Did you feel safe? And like I told you, I saw the money coming on all this, except for my little elbow here. So I had to breathe in and relax and say, I'm safe. I'm safe to receive. And then the money started beginning to stick in my imagination. Okay? So if you did not feel relaxed or resistant, put an R. If you felt safe and still, put an S. If you were tense, put a T. So I think I was both, but I'm going to put a T. But still tense a little bit. I'm going to put a T. Thank you for putting those answers. So, all right. So you now know how to kind of incorporate your imagination into this. Now, let's go to uprooting the lies, because in order for you to end something, you have to uproot it. It always has a root. So you always have to uproot it, and so it can grow new. Okay? Something could grow in its place. So you're going to uproot something and put a new seed in to make it grow differently. So it's time to call out those lies. Here are 10 money lies many of us carry. See if they sound familiar. 1, wanting more means I'm greedy. I remember sitting at the kitchen table and you asked for more. And what's the one thing that you heard? Oh, you're greedy. Right in the brain. 2, struggling makes me more spiritual. You equate struggle with wrestle. Struggle is not the same as wrestle. When you're wrestling, there's a technique. Either you know how to do it or you don't, or you get, you get put down and you lose. One way or the other. So if you're wrestling, you either get out or you get pinned down. That's the word. Get pinned down, right? So struggling means it's a constant repeat over and over. You're going through the same thing and expecting a new result and doing the same thing. You're struggling. So that supposed to make you spiritual. No. It makes you beg. It makes you stressed out. It makes all those things come to fruition. It makes you afraid. 3, if I charge too much, they won't like me. That's what you're saying in essence. There's not many people that were going to pay for my service if I charge that much. Not true. Just the ones that you're pinpointing. They're not your customer or your client. But that's another story. 4, I'm selfish if I put my needs first. Heard that before. I've heard that before. Well, you're being selfish if you put your needs first. No, because no one cared for me before. So I'm reparenting myself. My needs are first. My needs are first. And if what you do or say or act or behave or whatever is out there doesn't align with my feeling safe, my feeling loved, I can't do it. So it is selfish in a different way, selfless, because your first love is you. So if you don't give yourself that attention, how do you think you're going to give it to somebody else? 5, money only comes through hard work, backbreaking work. You got to work for it. And if you look up the definition of work, I wouldn't be saying the word work anymore. So money comes through that. You got to put the hard work in, babe. In order to get where you got to go, you got to put that work in. You got to do it because that's the only way this world's going to accept you. Have you heard that before? 6, I'm not good with money. I'll mess it up. I said that for years. I said that for years. Even though I had a lucrative business, I wouldn't touch the money. I would let somebody else do it. 7, people like me don't get rich. Heard that before, right? I've heard somebody say to me, I said something I thought was my friend, said it to them, and they's like, no, that'll never happen. I was like, what? Nah, that'll never happen. You're living in a dream world. I've heard that happen. I heard that happen. I heard it came from my friend and it came from, a loved one as well. Because I said, I don't want to work myself to death like you. Oh, that'll never happen. You have to work. Have you heard that? So people like you don't get rich. 8, if I talk about money, people will judge me. Well, let me just let you know this. People already know how much you make. If you're working on a job, they already know your starting salary. They already know it. Yes, they already do. They can Google it, find out what the starting is. So if you don't tell them, you don't tell them. And around that, if you feel like, oh, they're asking for a specific reason, what are they asking for? Well, they may be in a different grade of you or a different position as you. So what are they asking for? You tell them, what are they going to do with the information? They're being nosy to do what? What are they going to do with that information? Oh, say, oh, she only makes this much. Sure, they already know because that's why they asked you to see if you was going to say something. But when you don't talk about money like that and you don't feel cringed around it, you can say it and don't care. Right? But when you have all these fears around money and fear that they're just getting information and being nosy and they might be trying to get over on you or take your job, that's your fear talking. It has nothing to do with nothing. Because believe me, if a CEO asks me how much you're making, I already know, they already know, they're going to counter offer me with a better position. I already know. So why get crazy about that? 9, I can help others or make money, not both. I've heard this for so many nonprofit organizations. Well, we're nonprofit. We don't make money. What? What? Where did you get that lie from? Nonprofits make money all the time. Why do you think directors, executive directors, make hundred and something thousand to 200,000, even more a year? They make money. So I don't know where we get this from. That we're a nonprofit, we don't make money. It's a tax status. That's it. You see the things that we kind of agree to, and that stop us from really, really growing. If I make more money than my family, I lose them. If I make more money than my spouse, I'll lose him. If I make more money than my spouse, I'll lose her. Right? So drop the number that it hit hardest in the chat. Drop the number that hits hardest in the chat. If you can remember them. Number 1, wanting more means I'm greedy. Number 2, struggling makes be more spiritual. Number 3, if I charge too much, they won't like me. Number 4, it's selfish to put my needs first. Number 5, money only comes through hard work, backbreaking work. Number 6, I'm not good with money. I'll mess it up. Number 7, people like me don't get rich. Number 8, if I talk about money, people will judge me. Number 9, I can help others or make money, but not both. Number 10, if I make more than my family, I'll lose them. So now you know where the root lies, right? And we can go even deeper, and I can ask you, where do you think you heard it, and who did you hear it from? Right? Those are things that kind of anchor it so that you can know where it first derived from. But right, for this purpose now, it's just to figure out what it is. Now let's take number 9. And now what we're going to do is anchor it with a truth. So we're going to change, I can't help others or make money, not both, right? We're going to change that. And we could say number 1. Okay, for number 1, we'll do wanting more means I'm greedy. So number 1 would be replaced with I can be spiritual, generous, and still be wealthy. Who knew? Right? Number 2, instead of saying struggling makes me more spiritual, it is safe for me to receive, hold, and multiply money. Number 3, if I charge too much, they won't like me. My abundance helps others, and that is sacred. Okay? Now, pretty cool, right? Let's say these things, and I want you to write them down if you have a pen. It is safe for me to receive. These are very important for you. And my overflow blesses others. This encompasses all of the ain'ts and the can'ts and wouldn't and shouldn't. It covers all of them. It is safe for me to receive. My overflow blesses others. You don't have to choose between helping and having. You're allowed to have both. You see, inner wealth is what you feel before the money comes. It's the peace you carry when a bill hits your inbox. It's the power to say no. It's knowing your value isn't based on how exhausted you are, what kind of pants you buy, what label you purchase, how many necklaces you have, how many rings you carry, what type of gold you wear. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's what you feel from the inside. And let me tell you, what you say on the outside, how you do on the outside, and you want to get the Fendi bag. Maybe that's not even the bag that they are having right now, but you want to get that expensive bag. You want to have this expensive item. You want to have that, and you're going the status quo when your inner life is status below, and you don't feel worthy. You fake the funk that you'll feel worthy, but you don't feel worthy. Years ago, I was watching, I keep forgetting her name. She was a preacher, and she said, we dress up, women, when she was talking about women at the time. She said, the earrings and the things on the outside is like dressing up a Christmas tree. But when you put too much on it, it can topple over, and it won't be good for anybody. So when she said that, I thought about a Christmas tree being nicely with, just enough decorations. But then I thought about the Charlie Brown tree, how they put the biggest ball on there and it flopped over, right? That's how too much of anything on the outside can be. It tells on you. So you may think that you're fooling people. You're not. You're telling on yourself. See, again, I'm going to say all of this has to do with internal work. So that's why I created a free journaling guide that I'm going to give you today. If you go in the inbox and you ask me for it, right? So all you got to do is put guide, GUIDE, in the chat, and I'll send it to you. It's free. It helps you go deeper. It's called Right Through Trauma Money Journal. Inside, you're going to explore your first money memory, identify which lie you believed, and choose a new truth and anchor it into your nervous system. I'm going to leave the link down in the comments of this video so you can find it. And all you have to do is put journal or guide in the comments, and I'll send it to you. Here's my final thought and my final thing to say. I want to invite you back, and I thank you for coming tonight to this talk with me. This is a breakthrough session. But next week's breakthrough is going to be about safe to receive, aligned to earn. We're going to rebuild your inner wealth, your mind and your emotions, and your money plan. See, you're not bad with money. You were programmed to survive and not thrive. You deserve more than just joy. You deserve overflow. And the next time someone asks you how much you make, you won't flinch. You'll smile because you're safe and you're safe to receive. I hope that I helped you today. Remember that you can get this free journal, Right Through Trauma, Money Journal PDF for free, okay? And just ask for it by writing the word guide or journal in the bottom of the comments. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time around. Bye for now.